Hey guys, so I've got just got to read this channeled message that I got. I've titled it Sirius Star Sister. So I mean it's from the Syrians, Pleiadians, our star family. Yeah, so this is it. It was like this in the beginning for us too, the unknown, like a galaxy full of options and not knowing which way to turn. It was our Pleiadian and Lyran brethren that assisted us as they do you. They now also guide us in guiding you, as we will one day guide you in guiding others. You see, as you continue to learn and grow as a species, so do we. Some giant leaps are indeed bigger than others, and it's this one that humanity is now embarking upon that is a real doozy. Remember what it's like as a primary school graduate entering high school, feeling like the big fish, master of your pond one day, and the next you see you are a minnow in a very large, very vast ocean. It is an extremely confronting, emotionally triggering time for all, but especially for an unhealthy, control-focused ego. This initial transition phase and how it is approached or handled by the individual can have a huge impact on the next phase of their life. It can turn a popular, full of themselves, outgoing teen into a depressed loner or aggressive bully. It can give the reserved loner of the back row space and new opportunities to become the belle of the ball. Ways of doing things, friendships, beliefs, etc. all get turned upside down and readjusted before the new normal settles in. Unfortunately, some individuals get stuck in the big fish mentality for their whole lives, always trying to return to that feeling where they felt in control and master of their small pond. Some of these individuals would go to any lengths to hold on to the power and control that they believe they hold. The desire to be the popular one or big fish tends to stick to the individuals who have not built their inner resiliency and self-love. On the opposite side to this, there are those small fish that believe they need the big fish to herd or lead them, forever fearful of entering and exploring the vast ocean for themselves. Both the big fish and small fish continue to play out these roles as they are stuck in the fear of the unknown, fear of becoming something else, something more, fear of change, forever staying stuck in the transition to high school. Luckily, there are many others that readily adjust to the changes around them and continue the maturation process. These individuals evolve past the illusion of control and no longer involve themselves in the high school power plays. They move on with their lives. Now clearly we are not talking about high school or teenagers. We are talking about humanity's giant leap into the vast ocean of the galactic family. This is next level new beginnings. How are people going to deal with this? How are these big fish going to deal with this? Well, for starters, they've tried to bury, hide, refuse to acknowledge it is happening for as long as possible. They've controlled the availability of information, hoarding it, lording over it, keeping themselves the big fish by ensuring small fish remain ignorant of their realities. They continue to play the same games, believing they can be the big fish in the vast ocean, trying to build alliances in secret so as to have the upper hand over the big fish opponents when entering the ocean, believing this will give them the lead or power and they will hold on to their big fish status. Unfortunately for them, this doesn't work and it basically pigeonholes them as problem children. What they have yet to understand is that their teenage control tactics do not work on the emotionally intelligent, very, very, very experienced and evolved teachers of the vast ocean. You see, the biggest issue of this global transition is the ego death of these big fish individuals who currently believe that they are in control of this sphere. They now know, on some level, have always known, that this is an illusion and is just one part of the evolution of the species. But how to move from that mindset to a more evolved one? In actuality, their next moves are mainly focused on saving face, to retain some semblance of power and control over the populace during this transition phase, believing that they can somehow hold on to the same master-slave control dynamic even after this sphere enters the galactic family. It just goes to show that the stages of ego death are relatable in all things, on all levels, from individual to state to country to species. But this is part of the evolution. Each step is processed on all levels until the time comes that the final step is all governments joining forces in order to hold on to some semblance of control. That is when they realise that they have finally united as a species and the ego has the chance to surrender. It sounds simple, but anyone that has been through their own ego death will understand and can attest to the fact that it is anything but. As individuals become aware of the vast ocean they inhabit, they will all undergo their own awakenings, ego deaths. It is happening far quicker than your governments realise, and they are decidedly unprepared for it. There will be substantial shifts in the energy dynamics within society. The awakening process has taken a dramatic leap forward in recent years, and it is putting your governments on the back foot. They are out of power plays. There are no more moves they can make to try to hold on to their power. The only move forward now is to focus on keeping the peace within their populace and to put the emotional and physical welfare of the people above all. The next step is to support the community at large, assisting them in adjusting to this transition of awakening and entering the galactic family. This is how the grand shift takes place within the minds and hearts of the leaders of your governments. This is where those few that are still stuck in control dramas are cast out and replaced by caring, forward-thinking, emotionally intelligent, unified leaders who can assist humanity through the next phase of enlightenment. I kind of feel like there's more to come after that. Yeah, stay tuned for part 2 of that message. Yeah.